Now it's 6:30, police, protesters, and politics. The governor's in town to promote issue 2, and as you can see behind me, union forces don't like it one bit.
Ohio's governor comes to town to make his case for issue 2, only to be met by protesters. Good evening, I'm Laura Emerson.
And I'm Sean Hegarty. Here's the news for Thursday, September 29th. Governor John Kasich is speaking to issues 2 supporters right now in West Toledo. But the other side of the issue, labor unions are making themselves heard outside. Fox Toledo's Kevin Milliken is live with the contentious ballot issue and how it is dividing the state.
Sean, this is the governor's first public appearance in support of issue 2 out here at the Omni Annex in West Toledo. By his side tonight, Toledo Mayor Mike Bell, who's appeared in campaign ads promoting the controversial issue 2. As you can see behind me in the rain, 50-60 loud protesters making themselves heard, booing people as they walk into the Omni Annex and shouting chants every now and again, some of them very derogatory. Now, Ohio voters will head to the polls in a few weeks to give thumbs up or down to this proposal, which limits collective bargaining rights for public employees. Issue 2 is a voter referendum on the controversial Senate Bill 5, which sparked mass union protests at the State House last spring. Public employees will be forced to pay more for their health care and pensions. Union contract talks will be limited to wages and working conditions such as staffing levels and safety issues. Public employees could opt out of union membership without having to pay dues. A yes vote means you support issue 2. A no vote means you reject it. Now, as you can see from the noisy and chaotic scene behind me, both sides are engaged in an emotional and expensive battle for the hearts and minds of Ohio voters. When and how those voters head to the polls is the subject of another possible voter referendum tonight. A voter reform bill that passed the state legislature earlier this year restricts the time frame for absentee and early voting, but opponents turned in enough petition signatures in Columbus today to put that new law on hold. It was supposed to take effect tomorrow. So how does that affect this year's November election? The general election will be conducted under the old laws, which will have the Lucas County Board of Elections scrambling to get their early voting center open downtown Toledo, as well as mailing out absentee ballots starting next week.
Continuing with under the current deadlines that we are required to operate under, which includes opening the early vote center on Tuesday, October 4th.
Opponents of voter reform only turned in 300,000 signatures today. They need 231,000 valid voter signatures. Those will go through a verification process, so it will be close. But the bottom line for voters right now is this. If you've already made up your mind on issue 2 or some local candidates, you can vote as early as Tuesday, either in person or by absentee ballot. Reporting live in West Toledo, Kevin Milliken, Fox Toledo News.
Now, before he met those protesters tonight, Governor Kasich stopped by the Fox Toledo studios, and I asked him what he thought about the vocal opposition that he's facing, and he says it doesn't bother him.
What I try to do, and this may be something people would have a hard time believing, as long as my compass is doing the right thing in creating an atmosphere to get our kids out of poverty, 1 out of 4 in it, helping families, creating jobs, got to worry about people yelling and screaming. Some of them are paid to yell and scream, they tell me. I don't know that for sure, but it's okay. And yelling and screaming, it's part of American culture and something that I kind of grew up with.
Yeah. Is there any more middle ground you think you can reach with some of those people that are really yelling about issue 2?
Oh, well, look.
Or do you think it's just black and white?
Well, look, I wish we would have figured this out and not had to go to the ballot. When it's over, win or lose, of course we have to sit down and figure out where we go next. I don't want to have the state polarized.
We go one-on-one with the governor tonight in the talkback. Find out how he thinks issue 2 will help the middle class instead of hurt it like his opponents say it will. That's tonight at 10.